Hello?
Hey, good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. So you said don't put it on speaker, right?
Um, I would prefer you not. Do you have a Bluetooth or earpiece at all?
I do, but I don't know where it is. No worries. It's
Well, if
fine.
you're on speaker,
I
it's
took it
look.
off. It's fine.
Pardon?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so you can stay right where you are.
Yes.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How's your day?
Long.
Oh, you too. Oh my God.
How was your day?
Oh, crazy long. I have a house guest that had a delayed flight, and then not only was there a delayed flight, there was baggage that was lost.
Oh,
So instead of
gosh.
getting back at around 12:30 or 1, it was 3 a.m. before I laid down with a
Oh,
5 a.m.
gosh.
alarm that I needed to get up for. After being up the day before that at 5, it was just crazy. And
Oh,
right now,
gosh.
I wasn't sure if I was going to make it with you because I was dozing, drooling,
I
and
know.
you name it, I was doing it. But this is important to me, so I want to get her done.
Okay. How old is your grandson?
16.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Yep.
right.
He's 16,
Good,
but he
good.
made it, and we had a pretty good day, and he was tired too. And I
Yeah.
called myself going to try to hang out a little bit today. Come to find out, he's telling me, I'm tired. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm trying to get some activities going, and you're tireder than me. Tireder. That's a new word I created.
Okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. So, I know we have a time, but I want to start before I get into why we're gonna talk. I want to tell you a couple stories to I guess we would call break the ice, and we're
Hmm.
gonna stay on our time. But I want to share two things with you that were interesting to me. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been in travel mode, so I've been catching city buses lately.
Hmm.
So two things happened. I'm going to tell you both of them, and they were pretty interesting. And I'm not going to let that cut too much into our time, and I'll let you know when I start the clock. Regarding our planned time.
Hmm.
But I was on the bus. This was a couple of days ago, and an elderly couple got on. Okay,
Hmm.
and the gentleman was obviously a little less healthy than his wife.
Hmm.
And as they both got on the bus, I was, of course, standing myself. But as they got on the bus really slow,
Hmm.
there was only one seat available.
Hmm.
And the lady gave the seat. Okay, we've got this noise. What's that?
I let the dog out.
Okay. All right. So I had an interview the other day, and I was just so sensitive to any kind of distraction. So
Oh,
just
okay.
forgive
Sorry.
me if I hear anything and I get distracted. So you got to work with me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So when they got on the bus, there was only one seat available, and
Hmm.
of course the lady insisted that her husband, I guess that's who he was, he sit because he was very frail and he was having a hard time walking and getting on the bus, and he finally sat down. And okay, the seat behind him became available and she was standing up. So as the bus began to go, the guy, another guy got up to offer her his seat,
Hmm.
and she said no.
Mm.
And I was thinking, why would she say no? Her husband got a seat, but the seat behind him is what the seat the guy got up, and she insisted not standing. The reason she said no is because she would rather stand beside her elderly husband who could, barely sit in the seat. It was obvious that she would rather stand and be beside him than sit down and be behind him so that she could monitor him a little closer, because on the bus, there's hills and there's lots of stops, and if the bus takes a quick turn, maybe he could fall out of the seat or, bump his head or something weird. And I noticed how she preferred to stand instead of sit, and so that she could take care of him. And I said to myself, while I kind of watched this from afar, it was obvious what was going on. And I said to myself, you know what? My heart just kind of was there for a moment. I was saying, man, I really wished that I had that kind of companion with that much compassion, because I could see how she was there. Even, we're the providers and the protectors, but obviously he had aged out and her health was better than his. And obviously they had been together for some time, and she was just there for her man, her husband. And it just touched my heart. And I said to myself, I've been single for a long time, and I know exactly why I remain single. And it's not because someone may not like me or I may not be interested in someone. I just am terrified of separation. I have extreme separation anxiety, and the idea that someone could commit to me and or I commit to them, and then there's someone burned the toast and then they're out on me. I just don't think I could take it. And I, in my opportunities to date or meet people or spend time and get to know someone, I just have not encountered anyone that has given me that level of confidence to where I would say I would commit my life and rest of my time with someone exclusively who would commit to me. And I saw that in that couple and in that lady, and it just touched my heart to say, well, obviously it exists. I just need to really get my list together and write it down and put it out into the universe and say to God, okay, this is what I want. And the fact that I have not, made that level of commitment in so long is strictly related to fear. The fear of being abandoned or denied in some kind of way. And I just don't want to live that way anymore. And I just decided, okay, I think I am going to make that list and just open that door and close the door to fear. Sorry I took so long to say that, because that's not what we're supposed to talk about.
That's
And
okay. I'm going to open my door.
I'm
going to open my door. You can tell me the other thing. It's fine.
Okay.
I just opened my door again.
Okay.
Okay.
The other thing is, I was walking, and this happened actually this morning. After, as I was dog tired. Did you see the movie Green Mile when he said, I was dog tired, boss. I was dog tired. Okay, after not laying down till 3 and then waking up at 5 and then doing a killer workout, I decided I would get my cardio in by walking a little bit. And after my workout, I was walking, and I saw another elderly lady walking towards me. And I noticed as I was getting close, she was looking down at the ground and not paying attention. And of course, naturally, I'm thinking, how could she miss me? I'm still close to 300 pounds, 6'1". How could she not see me? And I almost bumped into her, or she almost bumped into me. We almost collided because she was not looking ahead and she was walking really slow. Obviously, she was an elderly lady. And as soon as I passed her, I noticed she continued to keep her head focused down. And I said, this woman is not trying not to pay attention to what's in front of her. She was trying to watch her feet and the uneven ground so she would not fall. And I said to myself, oh man, she probably did have a stronger peripheral vision or view. I just couldn't see, and I could only see that she was walking. And it dawned on me, the message I got out of that was paying attention to what's actually in front of you is more important than worrying about what you could collide with. If you're focused on
I
where
would
you're
agree.
going, you don't have to worry about what someone else is going to do, because I guess they're defensive walkers and defensive drivers also. And I guess the message in that was that she was more focused as an elderly lady on not falling, that it didn't matter who was coming that she could collide with. She was trying to protect herself instead of protecting who she could collide with. And I don't know, there was just messages all over the place. And there's some more, I won't get into them. But those two things just touched my heart and caused me to start thinking. And that's how I wanted to break the ice before we got into our thing tonight.
Okay.
And they were just messages that, I guess when you're where I am, you're starting to see things for more than how you feel about them. Same thing happened, just a few days ago when I was on my staycation. I saw this guy pass me, and he was he was running, and I was, getting my power walk in. I saw something in that. So I don't know. I'm starting to see things a little differently. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it didn't take too much of
I
our time.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So there you go. We can start the clock now. Officially, I'm going to
Okay.
keep us on our time.
Okay.
So, you read my book.
Yes, sir.
You actually ordered it,
It's on my Kindle.
okay? And you got it in time for you to actually open it up and get through it. Now, I have a few questions, and let me look at my clock because I just started. Let's see, I don't want to go over my time because I have a clock and I have a timer. So I'm going to focus on the timer now. If I can see the time, I can focus on the timer. Just give me a second so that I can do this. Why is this happening? Why am I trying to pay a bill? Okay, now I see the time. All right. First things first, small, easy questions. Did you enjoy it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Did it hold your attention? Yes or no?
Yes.
Was it more educational? Was it more informative? Or was it more entertaining? Which was it more of?
Informative.
Informative. Okay. Now, I'm going to call it a memoir. It's been called a bibliography and even an autobiography, and I'm learning what the different terms are. But it is more of a memoir, which is a collection of, different experiences
Yes.
that I just wanted to share.
I would agree with that.
Were those stories hard to follow? Yes or no?
Yes.
Hard or difficult?
Difficult.
Impossible, difficult, or hard?
Difficult.
Did you eventually get to the point of where you understood the majority of what you were able to obtain and read?
Yes.
Okay. Was the book, was the information book worthy? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if you didn't know me and you just picked that book up, let's just say it was part of a book club and you were reading it. Is it a good read? Yes or no?
Yes.
Tell me in as short as you can why it was a good read.
Because you rarely get a black man's perspective on such an intimate topic. Because people in general don't like to talk about themselves, but you laid it all out there.
When you saw I laid it all out there, there's no way I could lay it all out there because as I said in another one of my reviews, I would need 10 of those to tell everything. So I promise you it's far from all. But I got as much as I could, and in another one of my interviews, my reader said that they didn't hear anything happy at all, anything that made me laugh or laugh out loud. They only heard things that seemed traumatic or traumatizing. They even used a powerful word such as torture. Did you seem to think that my life was torturous or that my life was traumatizing? Yes or no?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Now, I was almost mad. You're going to have to talk up a little bit. I appreciate the calm,
Oh,
sexy
okay.
sounding yes. But, okay, I kind of got, bothered by someone seeing my life as traumatizing or torturous. So now here you are. You're going to say the same thing. And I've got to be respectful
Yes,
of
it was
someone's
trauma.
perspective. And
Yeah.
now I got a little attitude, and I almost don't want to talk to you now because you're already going
I'm
in a direction that I
sorry.
no,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
exaggerating a little bit. So you saw my stories as traumatizing and
Some
or
of them,
torturous.
yes.
Some of them,
Yes. Yes.
okay, it's all right. Okay, those are all of my opening yes or no questions. I'm going to let you dive in and elaborate or ask me questions or tell me what was most memorable to you, or what did you get out of the book? What did you get out of it? How did you feel after you read the last page?
I felt that you were able to persevere in spite of everything else. Everything that has transpired in your life, you still were able to make it to a place of peace and comfort.
Okay. So you did not hear the interview that I did with anyone else, the most recent one, the review.
No,
Okay, because
I
they
didn't know
said
you did
something
one.
similar. So
Oh, okay.
just yeah, so you're saying I was able to persevere?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So although I might have been tortured or traumatized, you saw me as a person who was able to persevere and still be able to stand.
Yes.
When you've done all you can done.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Stand.
All right. So now I'm gonna let you go on, and now you can move on. Thanks for asking all of those questions, and I appreciate. Now, last thing, how do I say this? Would you suggest someone else read it? And what did you get out of it? And what do you think any other reader would get out of it? That's my last question before I let you get into your questions. What did it do for you? Because okay, the other review person, this is why I'm asking, because they said they were not inspired or motivated, one of the two, combination of both. Were you inspired in any kind of way or motivated in any kind of way?
So I was inspired by the fact that you were able to settle in a whole different country and start building your life. And that's something that I aspire to do. So it was very inspirational for me to see you do it. I said, of course, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Now, you just said something that in all this time I never thought about. You said, I settled and I'm rebuilding. I promise you, I never felt that I have been settling or rebuilding. But now, after everything that I went to, especially recently, maybe that is what I was. You know how when certain animals are about to give birth and they,
Mm-hmm.
they call it nesting. I never forget I had dogs that I allowed to breed, and I saw the behavior of the pregnant dog just before the puppies were born.
Mm-hmm.
And then the vet said that's what they're doing. They're nesting, and it was
Mm-hmm.
a natural behavior for them to try to prepare to get ready because they knew that the puppies were coming. I now see myself as okay, maybe after whatever I went through, if you want to call it trauma or torture, maybe this direction was a type of nesting where I was settling and rebuilding. And I never
Mm-hmm.
looked at it like that until just now. So I'm going to send you an offering in a little envelope for giving me that nugget. Okay, so now the floor is open for you to say whatever you want to say, ask what you want to ask. If I have more questions along the way, I'll ask you. But now, whatever questions you have, shoot. And remember, I said to you, if you get too deep, I guess I'll stop you. But I want you to go on in and ask whatever you want to ask.
Okay. So, what motivated you to write this book now at this season in your life? Because it was clear that it's something that you've been working on for quite some time. So, why did you decide that it needed to happen now? Was there a particular reason, or it was just the way things fell into play?
I think it was the way things fell into
Okay.
play because as I started to write, it was supposed to just be the special section of the book was supposed to just be that, a special section, and that's what it was originally going to be about. But as I began to write, I thought I would start to share things that were reminding me of what, happened at the end. As you just said, something happened that caused me to want to talk about it while it was happening. So, although I was telling a lot of stories that happened in the past, if you will notice, I talked about one of those incidences that happened towards the end that I just did not want to not talk about. I knew that if I held that in, I would probably do some, psychological damage. So to talk about it and write about it while it was happening was therapy for me. So I guess to
Okay.
answer the question, I wrote about it because it was happening and I didn't want to miss it. The other things were just things that I thought about that were triggered during these moments of why this other thing was happening. And I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about. So did I answer your question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that incident caused me to write about it while it was happening and just tell the other stories along the way. And I never answered that question. I'm going to send you two envelopes now because that's something that I never thought about. The reason I wrote is because while that was happening, I did not want to hide it. I did not want to bury it. And although it was embarrassing, I did not want to not talk about it. And I just thought that it should be revealed and exposed, along with some of the other things that I was just hiding along the way and never got to talk about. So,
Okay.
wow, thanks for that. Okay, go on.
Okay. Next question. So, how did you settle on this title? Um, do you think birth order impacted your life? Because obviously being the eldest child, has this thing, and the middle child. So, do you think is that why you settled on the title, "My Mother's Fifth Child"?
I am not sure why I did that. I do know that what I was able to study and research about the order of children when they're born, the amount of time, energy, and attention they receive, I just thought it would just be a title. And I will probably come up with the actual reason. You're catching me on the spot. I'm sure there's a reason I did that. But it's, I guess, just now for the sake of answering your question, I just think it was just powerful. I have three older sisters, one older brother, and one younger brother. My oldest sister is oldest of us is a female, and the youngest of us is a male, and I fall just below the youngest male, and we call me the knee baby, and I just think that who I am and why I am the way I am did have something to do with where I fell in the order of all of us that were born. And I just can't remember why I chose that title. I know I chose it for a reason. I'm just drawing a blank right now. But
Okay.
why you ask me that?
Why did I ask?
Yeah, why did you ask that particular question? Because I do know
Because
why. Go ahead.
because I haven't studied it or researched it, but I know that there have been studies done on birth order, and I just wondered if that was the reason why you decided to do fifth child, and being one of the youngest. you have, I'm sure you've had a completely different life experience than, say, your older sister, the older sibling.
Hmm.
So, and
Definitely.
sometimes, and I know as the older sibling in my family, I know that I had a lot more responsibility in the household, and sometimes I resented my younger siblings because I couldn't do things. I had to go upstairs. My dog is barking. I mean, coughing. Um, as the older sibling, had many more responsibilities. Like at 9, I was cooking and cleaning, iron, doing everything. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's why I asked that particular question.
Okay, well, you got the best answer I could give at the time. I guess I've got
Mm-hmm.
to research. I'm sure I know why. I've got to now talk to my transcriber to see if there was a reason. I know there was. I'm just not. I just don't have it in my head right now. But
Okay.
anyway, go ahead. Keep it moving.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned escaping negative judgment and criticism can be peaceful. Do you feel like you're at peace now?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Next question. Um, I wanted to know about chapter 1. Um, at some point you reflect on how a bad situation turned into you stepping into contentment. How do you think that happened?
Okay, I want to be specific because I do know my own book. I don't know what you're talking about in particular. And you said chapter 1. What is the specific and direct question?
I gotta scroll through my notes.
No
I'm sorry.
worries.
I wrote down the page number on some of them, but not. I guess I missed it on this one. Hold on.
Well, you can generalize the question and while you're looking. I just don't want to miss the actual question.
Like, what do you think led you to this sense of being peaceful and content? Because it seemed like you had so much to happen. Like, what can you pinpoint anything, or any incident or something that led you to a space of being peaceful?
When I looked at the challenges and even the challenges that I face even today, I
Mm-hmm.
look at how, as my other reviewer said, okay, I'm an overcomer. You said something about me persevering. And
Mm-hmm.
those two words are synonymous. I don't even know what that word means, but I'm just using it because it sounds fancy.
It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that being an overcomer and someone who's persevering, when I look back over my life and I look at the challenges that I faced and how somehow through, I guess I'll call it the grace of God, how I managed to get through them whenever the fire was hot, at the time, and I just didn't see how I would make it through some of the things. I look and said, well, something inside of me caused me to get through it. And whatever I'm facing right now, I obviously have what it takes. I have the ability to overcome or to
Mm-hmm.
persevere. I just need
Mm-hmm.
to continue to believe that about myself. And that's what I believe God says about me. I believe I was created, perfectly in His image. And although I go through challenges and trials, I believe I because I have faith in myself and in God, I believe that I will somehow make it and get through, through grace. There have been many times where I didn't get through, but I just feel like no matter what I'm faced with, whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen. I've just got to just know that I've got to get through it and just hold on. I hope I'm answering your question.
You are. Yes, yes, yes.
I just have come to realize, and many of those things, it's like, how, the Bible says the devil, the enemy, I don't want to talk about the devil, but is a roaring lion and a tinkling cymbal or something like that, all bark and no bite.
Mm-hmm.
And things that, how it says the enemy comes to sift us as wheat and would rather us be in a bad place. I, I, how do I say this? I just continue to believe that I'll just make it, and it's not easy. I did the one about someone being, looking at my confidence. Like right now, you talked about me having peace. I guess it just looks that way, but I still walk through with fear and trembling. Each day I go through my life, there's a nervous side of me. I look at everything that I have to deal with, and it's scary sometimes. But what I've managed to do was to stick my chest out and hold my head up and just believe that if I just keep walking and just keep moving, that I will get through those situations. So I hope I'm not losing my train of thought, I
No,
don't
it's
want to
clear.
lose your question. I just I just believe that I've just reached a place of what looks like arrogant now. I mean, I guess I'm talking. You're saying I have peace, or why do I have peace? You ask me if I have peace now. I just think that peace and confidence just kind of goes together through everything that I go through and that I continue to get through, builds a level of trust that you say, okay, if I'm brought to it, somehow I'm gonna get through it. And even though I fall and I stumble, I have to fall 7 times, I have to get up 8. And that over time builds a level of confidence that can appear to be arrogant or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I hope I answered your question. Sorry I rattled, but
Yes, no, that's okay. That's okay. So, it, and I had this thought came to me a couple times as I was reading, and I wasn't going to ask you, but I am going to ask you.
oh, wait a
Have you
minute. Should
thought?
I sit down? Hold on, because I told you to go ahead and be free because it's all
You
out there now,
did.
and I know that I'm a target now to whatever someone wants to ask, say, or comment, or criticize. So here we go. Check 1 2. Let's see. I'm listening. I'm sitting down.
Have you had thoughts of becoming a minister?
The answer to that question on the surface is no, because when I hear minister, I think of being a preacher in a pulpit and a pastor leading people in the sense of a religious form. But when you say minister, I have to be careful and say, well, have I thought of being able to share my experiences and be able to inspire or motivate or give other people hope? The answer to that is absolutely. If doors open where
Yes.
someone wants to hear me, just like this interview right now, I will go and open my mouth and talk until it catch a fire. You know,
You could absolutely minister to people.
well, yeah, you use the word minister, but no, I don't want to be nobody's preacher, nobody's pastor. I don't have nothing to do with any kind of religion in that aspect. But yes, if someone wants to ask me questions or want my opinion, even on my live stream when I started it some time ago, I believe in my heart I have a unique ability to listen, to hear, to pay attention, to analyze the information I gather along the way and present a response that's free of my personal opinion or my personal influence. So if I believe I would be the perfect juror, to gather evidence and information. So yes, I believe I can give a perspective to someone that may not necessarily be fueled by my particular preference or my belief or what I feel, think, or believe. So yes, I look forward to the opportunity. If someone wants to ask my opinion on something, they present information, facts, and evidence and proof to me, I'll be able to say, okay, this is what I think likely has happened or is going on based on my ability to analyze. And yes, I think that is a form of ministry. And although it has some religious traces in it, I will say yes. I believe I will take an opportunity to inspire and or motivate or even discourage somebody from even doing something that could be detrimental to them. So to answer that question, I'm going to say with nervous and trembling, yes.
Okay.
I know, right?
Okay. So this birthday trip, like, what in
Oh
the world
God.
happened?
All right, listen. Okay, I told the publisher I almost didn't put that story in the book because as I even read it after writing it, I read it back. It's long, it's drawn out, it's detailed, it's got a lot of stuff in there, and even my son, attests to where it didn't make me look good because of the way I responded. And
Yeah,
although, well, let me ask you this: do you think I look bad? Did you think?
absolutely.
Hey, listen, hey, I'm not taking that off of you. Now, one of my other friends said the same thing that she was going to side with my son, you know, and it's like, I'm not taking that mess from y'all because, as I said to her, I was there. You were not there. Why can you not take my side? I was very
So
clear with what I was trying to say, what I was repeating. Why do I have to always be the bigger and the better person? So, what
I
problem do
didn't
you have
say
with me?
I didn't say you had to be the bigger or better person. First of all, it was obvious that you trusted the woman enough because you had an excursion with her 2 weeks prior. And so you felt comfortable enough to ask her to help you out again. And so, what I couldn't, and maybe I missed it, what happened to make you change your opinion of her? Like, do you think she was maybe, I don't know, maybe she wanted to do her own thing instead of what? I don't know. I don't. Maybe she had another agenda. I should say.
Well, that's the
Like, but
issue. There
I
was
feel
no
like
agenda.
something.
What
I
I
felt
re-
like something happened.
What do you mean something happened? So what do you think happened? What is this something? What are you talking about?
No, I
Because
don't.
what
So
happened happened. I told the story as it happened. So what happened was what I told. What are you asking?
right. So because 2 weeks prior, she did a good job, and then when she's interacting with you and your son, she changes. Like, was she attracted to your son? How old was she? Like, maybe I don't know. Like, something transpired, and maybe you missed it. Maybe it was so subtle you didn't even notice what transpired. And of course, because you responded to the fact that she wasn't doing what you expected her to do.
Or what I was
But
asking her repeatedly to do or
right.
not do.
So I just wondered if I just thought maybe I had missed something, but apparently I didn't because you said you laid it all out. So I don't know. But then my follow-up question then is, in hindsight, would you have done something differently or responded differently now that you know what you know?
Okay. For I don't think you gave away anything, and anyone else that's wondering what you're talking about, this is the birthday trip to Medellin. It's one of the what you're talking about. I think
Mm-hmm.
if someone, and I'm going to talk about you, I'm going to talk about my other friend who decided to take my son's side, and I'm even talk about my son in his face. I'm going to say this: if you just read and you pay attention to what happened, you don't have to worry about how you feel about how I responded because I
Mm-hmm.
think I was responding accordingly to the best of my ability. If I drop a
Mm-hmm.
bowling ball on your toe right now, are you going to be able to say anything other than ouch or ow or scream? No, you're
Mm-hmm.
not. Based on what I was presented with, I think I was responding accordingly. So, to answer your question, now that I have the information I have, yes, I probably would not have even asked again. I probably would have just taken authority and control. This is what my transcriber said. What happened to me also a few weeks before that is I had just gotten pickpocketed. Okay,
Yeah.
someone had
Mm-hmm.
just jacked me, for my phone and my money and my ID, and I was
Mm-hmm.
terrified. So as
Mm-hmm.
I was walking around on this particular day, trying not to look like, like a foreigner on vacation with a welcome to Miami t-shirt on and a camera around my neck. I was trying not to present that, and that's exactly the type of attention that was being drawn to me or to us. And of course, me being the responsible one there, my son was there. He's bigger and stronger than me. But I feel like I would have had to spring into action and protect us all. But I had someone directing and leading us that was creating a sense of danger and insecurity for me. And it was just frustrating to say, hey, you don't understand that I need to know what we're going to do and stop doing this, because everything that was happening was creating a level of cautiousness. And I want to use the word fear. I felt like I was walking into an alligator trap every step I took. And I kept saying, stop doing that. And it just got out of hand. So I don't care whose side you take. I don't care how you feel about me. I had a level of security that I had to guard
Maintain.
myself.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
all I was doing, because I kept saying, hey, stop doing this. Stop asking me that. Just do what I ask you to do. And it just got frustrating. And then that's it. And I hope whoever has not read the book yet will not be discouraged by this, but just will do as, since I done had two people say they're going to take my son's side and that I might have not responded the best way. I don't care about what y'all have to say. I was there, and I felt like I had to protect myself and those that were with me, and that energy was putting me in danger. So next.
Was she being paid by the hour?
I don't recall how at this
Okay.
point in
Okay.
time. I know
Okay.
I said that if you do this for me, this is what I would do. And she said, okay. And now that I think about it, I do remember throwing a few extra coins in the pot
Okay.
because I was very appreciative that, I had
Okay.
people in town and I didn't know the area. And I thought she would be a much better tour guide. But now I know better. And the answer is no, I probably won't have her do that again. And I haven't. And I won't. Well, kind
Okay.
of, sort of, maybe, because I've got my grandson here, and there might be a stop by or a drive by to say hello to them because we are friends. They are people that I know, but I do
Okay.
have different expectations. Anyway, can we change that subject? Did you get what you
Yes,
needed?
sir. So, next question. After Kim's death, did you allow TJ to maintain a relationship with his sisters, or was he just too young for it to even matter?
Are you kidding me? He goes even now at Christmas and Thanksgiving. He's there with his older sister and he travels all the way
Okay.
5 hour drive, and he maintains and keeps that relationship and that family bond together himself. Yes, after she transitioned, the first 3 or 4 years he was there during the summer and Christmas. That's why when I would go home at Christmas and the summer, he would definitely get to go home. So yes, even
Okay.
to this day, my
Good. That's
grandson
good.
that's here now is the son of the youngest daughter. And sure, yes, we still keep in touch. I love them dearly. I don't guess I am as attached to them physically as I probably am to my, I guess, my biological grandkids. But oh my God, if they needed a kidney right now, either one of them, they could get it. And yes, that bond is strong, I believe. My daughter's the youngest one who just had her son come and hang out with me. I believe she loves me. She still seems to respect me. The oldest one, the middle one, she transitioned in 2019, so we lost her. And
Oh,
yeah, I know that's
I'm so
not in the
sorry.
book, I don't think.
Yeah. No,
But
I
no,
heard.
TJ is definitely close to his sisters, and he's keeping his kids close to his nieces and nephews. And yes, they are tight as a stocking cap on a brother's head.
Okay. So after you moved into, I'm just going to say adulting, what do you view as your first failure, and what did you learn from it?
When you say adulthood and you say failure, I want more clarity.
So when you started maintaining your own home, being an adult,
Okay.
what do you view as your first failure, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, a little bit of what we're talking about right now. I don't think I trusted myself and I didn't trust God enough. I looked
Mm-hmm.
at what was upon me and it frightened me. I had too much fear. And I'll go ahead and quote the Bible: God did not give me the spirit of fear, but of power and of a strong mind. I think if there
Mm-hmm.
was a mistake that I made, it was just not trusting the power that was within me and my ability to move and shake and move and groove and do. And I just feel like that's what I did. I did not believe in myself enough. I let what people had to say and my circumstances frighten me. I was a dog on a meat truck, and I jumped off the meat truck many days to get a biscuit that was on the ground because of the fear. So
Mm-hmm.
my fear of failing is a mistake that I think I made.
Mm-hmm.
Not believing in myself and not going on. Maybe that's why I've got so much drive now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, okay, if I fall, then if I can get back up, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I even say, on my live streams, I'm not afraid to be wrong. If someone can prove something wrong to me, it's my opportunity to learn and grow. So I
Mm-hmm.
look for opportunities to learn. So to answer your question, it was a mistake to not be bold and believe in myself and trust
Okay.
more in the power that is within me.
Okay. So I know that you said that TJ spent his summers and Christmas with his sisters and his grandparents. But while you were going through a particularly difficult time, do you think it was selfish of you not to send TJ to his grandparents?
When you say not send him, what do you mean?
So, so you were clearly struggling financially and everything. So, would it have made TJ's life easier if he were with his grandparents in a
Oh, let
stable?
me stop you right now.
Mhm.
Listen, the word easy is something that I try to fade out. It would have made life easy for me to just dump him off, what I think you're asking me, and I
No,
now
I'm
you can.
asking about TJ,
No,
not you.
absolutely not. No,
Hmm.
he needed to
Hmm.
be with me. He needed to hear my
Hmm.
voice, just as I said. It would have
Hmm.
made it. No, it would not have made it easier for him because I don't.
Hmm.
He was happy with his father.
Okay.
He knew that he was protected. He knew that he was provided for. He knew
Hmm.
that nothing was going to come between us. And I wanted to instill that kind of trust. I wanted him to trust me in that way, to know that he was going to be okay, because he didn't think we were struggling, because he had
Okay.
food, he had clothing. I was a makeshift barber. So he
Hmm.
always was groomed well. He had everything he needed for the most part, as far as I know.
Hmm.
I mean, you could ask him if it would have
Hmm.
been easier. But the answer to that question, as far as I'm concerned, being his father, no, he needed to be with me. And if I had to do it over 100 times, I would not have just sent him to my mother or his other
Okay.
grandmother or any of my other family members. Because although it was tough for me, I
Hmm.
knew that it was important for him to be with me so that he could be there. So although he didn't know we were struggling, he saw strength in his father, and that's why I look at him now. I am more proud of him, man. We talk. He sent me messages and pictures. He sent me some pictures today of him maxing out on his deadlift. He's a
Oh wow.
strong Negro. And I think that's an inward. He's not just physically strong. He's just mentally and emotionally strong. He's strong, and I know some of that was instilled in him, seeing the strength in me through my
Hmm.
struggles. So
Hmm.
no, it would not have been best for him. I think it would
Okay.
have changed his life totally. And I'm not going to say it would have been bad, because his grandmothers were both loving. But
Hmm.
no, he it wouldn't have not would not have been easy for him. Don't you get me
Okay.
started now, all right? Because I'm not scared of you. You don't scare me.
I'm not trying to scare you.
Okay, well then keep it moving before I
Okay.
come down off
So,
my horse.
okay. So on page 23, and I'm sorry, it's my page 23. I don't know if it's the same. in your book. I don't know if the hard copy is the same pages, but anyway, you said 5 years after the divorce, we were still going to church together and sitting together. I had become distant from the church as I knew it and decided to change my perception based
Now
on
you
my
don't have to
personal.
read the whole doggone book. Get your
Okay.
point. I don't want to give it away. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
So what I want to know is what prompted this distance, because it's really, I don't know if it was a divorce or whatever, but then what prompted that you're distancing yourself, and then how exactly did your perception change?
What distance?
You said you had become distant from the church.
Oh God, I wish you hadn't asked me that, because now I gotta
Oh.
be really real. Oh God, this is gonna sting a little bit. Okay. Whew. Oh man, why did you have to ask me this? I said do it though, didn't you? So I think you're asking me what caused me to distance myself from the church. Lord, forgive
Yes.
me if this hurts anything or anybody or discourage anybody, but I just got you asked me, so I'm going to tell you. And I think I'm gonna start trying to wind down because we're getting close to our time. But I'm going to answer your question. I remember when I was going through the initial part of the divorce, and I sought counseling through church, and I did get one counseling session with I did get a initial counseling session, but then after that, my counseling sessions were outsourced. I was referred to someone else who was a specialist in, I guess, marital counseling. And I just did not feel like what I wanted or needed or even expected was provided by with my initial request for help. So I felt like, okay, I got to tell all the business, like, okay, we're not doing good. I'm embarrassed about this, and then I got outsourced to this other guy who we finished the counseling session, and I just felt like I was just kind of left. I think because I had the stench of divorce on me, I was kind of, maybe I separated myself, or maybe you know some of the leaders separated themselves from me or from us. So I don't know. I'll just take the blame and say I separated myself. But for some reason, I felt like I may have wanted to get a little more support because I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. We were both ashamed that we did not know what to do to hold our marriage together to the point where we peacefully disassembled. But I think I just kind of lost a little hope. It's like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. It's what I need. I'm not getting it. So I'm going to just kind of move away. And I'm embarrassed anyway. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed.
I know.
So it was just hard. And I'm not blaming anyone. Nobody did me bad or wrong. It's just, I just wanted something different that I did not receive. And I distanced myself. So nobody distanced themselves from me.
Okay.
That wasn't bad, was it?
No, it was not.
Okay, maybe that was a clean version of it, because I might have called some names. I might have called some folk out of their names. Not meaning any really harm, no bad harm, but when you hurt and
Yeah.
you kind of roll your eyes in a certain kind of way, and then you have to ask God to forgive you, and then you move on and you're okay.
Okay. And then I don't know. I guess this is probably more of a statement than a question about your birthday discrepancy. Child, celebrate the whole month.
Well, when people tell me that, they say, "Oh, I'm celebrating the whole month." It's like, well, you go ahead and do that. I'm not saying happy birthday to you every day, and I'm not going to be parading you around every day. Okay, yeah, it does feel like two birthdays, and I do get the honey out of the moon, and I get the milk out of the honey. I do enjoy 2 full days because of how I feel, as well as how I think. But that was just another one of those things that I just got through, and I'm still okay with it.
Okay. I get it. I get it.
Now, I want to be respectful of our time. We probably have less than 10 more minutes if we be on time. I don't know if you want to try to combine everything else you have. And unless you have time and you want to keep going, I'll go with you. But I want to be respectful of what I agreed of, and I appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much. When I was writing and when I finished, I have not received an actual copy of the book. My assistant slash editor, not slash editor, transcriber, she has been such a blessing in helping me in getting this done. She has ordered a couple different copies because we had to change the initial cover of the book because of some misunderstandings with publishing and getting it, and she's ordered like 4 copies, just to see if it's right. And I have not actually held a copy in my hand yet.
Okay.
I haven't, and it's because I want it all to be finished and ready before I actually look at it. And thank God for her. She's been doing those things to help me get it. But I might have lost my train of thought. I did get some energy though, because I was falling asleep before this conversation.
Well, no, I'm falling asleep. I'm fading fast.
I
My
know, but
dog
we
had me
gotta
up at 3.
something I was getting ready to say. I don't remember, but what was the question you asked me? What were we talking? What did you just ask me? I'm sorry.
We were talking about the birthday celebration, and you said whether or not we were gonna wind down or try to finish it, but I can't finish it because I have a lot more. This is just like the tip of the iceberg.
Okay,
Like
well then let's try. Let's try though. Try to put it all in one. I'm just saying, like, right?
I
Oh, I
can't.
know what I was gonna say. I didn't know. I was about to thank you if we are gonna wind down. I want to thank you for doing this with me because it's helping me to also reflect, and it's giving us teasers. People who haven't read it, or you know. I appreciate this. I didn't know how this part was going to unfold. For some reason, I thought Oprah would call me and come out of retirement and interview me like what we're doing right now, and I get to explain some things in details, and you know. But I appreciate you and the people before you and those that will give me feedback. One of my cousins asked me just 2 nights ago, after listening to one of my interviews, she said, "Do you think you need approval from anybody?" And I said, now I'm mimicking her voice. She didn't sound like that. And I said, absolutely not. The book is finished. It's done. It's on the shelves. It's where you can get it. All of the stuff is out there now. No, I don't need approval, but I do appreciate feedback and an opinion. Not because it's going to change me or change, what I have done already, but I appreciate this as feedback. So your opinion on what you get out of it does mean something to me, and I don't see this as any form of approval. So no, I want to just tell you thank you. You took the time to order my book. Thank you for the support. You took the time to read it, and you're giving me this feedback. I'm so grateful that you are doing this for me. You talk about service after the sale. You talk about therapy after therapy, or continuing. I am grateful for you. I've got 3 or 4 more set up, and I'll answer as many questions as that come to me. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate you giving me this time.
Okay, no worries. Anytime, anytime.
So do you want to schedule again, or do you want to try to compile everything? Do you have any final closing thoughts or views or comments so that we can be respectful of time? Because man, I'm telling you, I am busted right now. But yeah, let's just try to close, and if you want to do it again, we can do it again, especially if something comes to
Okay.
mind. So help
Okay.
me close, as they used to say at the end of the all night visual. Somebody close us out.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to close out then with family because that is crucial to who you are, how you are, where you are, et cetera, et cetera. And for me, family is everything. Like all of my siblings are in the same city. We celebrate every holiday. We do everything, and my mother will have a fit if we try to miss like the
And I
4th.
hate all of y'all for that, because that's just the opposite with me. But go ahead, keep going.
Right. So my question is, how traumatic? I mean, I just can't even imagine. Like, is that something are you still struggling with this disconnect from your family? Or have you figured out how to get over it, go past it, go through it, or whatever. Like, because it just really resonated with me, the fact that it's just a huge disconnect.
Well,
And
I'm glad we're closing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, and I just wondered if if you were able to move through it.
This is
That's
a
all.
good way to close, or as I like to say,
That's what I
land
thought.
the plane.
Hmm.
And maybe I am dealing with that. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Yes, it does bother me. But I think I've built such a resistance. I've protected myself so much because it does not feel good that there is disconnect and distance and separation or whatever you want to call it. And I guess that discomfort has been so severe that I've built up a wall that protects me from being, I guess, hurt anymore. Gosh, I hate using that word, hurt. Why did you have to ask me that? But yeah, I think, the disappointment and the discomfort has been so severe that I said, okay, in order to protect myself, I've got to stop reaching out. I've got to stop trying. I've got to stop expecting. I just have to be okay with what is. And no, I don't know. Maybe, what's her name? Elena, Ayanla.
Iyanla Van
Yeah,
Zandt, yeah.
maybe this might be a job for a superwoman. I don't know, but I have reached a point of where I'm accepting of what is, and I don't want to do anymore. I'm not putting my neck out there anymore because I've got too many lashes on it. I don't want it to come off. I don't want to guillotine
Okay.
myself. So no, I'm not comfortable with it. No, I don't think it's good, and I don't think it's even healthy. But I've managed to find that place of to where I'm able to survive. I'm coping. I'm coping with that.
Okay.
I wish you
Okay.
hadn't
All
asked
right.
me that because now you done opened up something there.
Well, but let me tell you, so anytime you want to join a family celebration, come on through.
Uh huh.
You
I
have an
appreciate it. I'll
open
probably eat up
invitation.
all of y'all macaroni and cheese, all the hog maws, all the
No,
collard greens, all the chitlins. I want some of
you
them.
could not.
Y'all would you would fire me the first time because I'd eat everything in every pot. Nobody
You
would
could
eat anything.
not. Though as much food as we have at our gatherings, you could not.
Well, I
You
would
could not.
definitely try. But thanks for that invitation. And
Okay.
if it maybe I will do that one day. I like people, and that's what, something weird. This is a good closing point. People that invite me to their events. This is crazy. This is coming together really good. I just got a revelation just now. When I do special events like weddings or events where people invite me, the one thing I tell them is they can never get rid of me. And even my publisher, I said to her, yeah, I'm your family for life. And I think there's a connection in that whenever I am a part of these precious moments, even I play for someone's homegoing service. Once I'm in your family, you can never get rid of me because you know what I do? I call those people. And now, you, of all people, you know of this one event that happened about a month ago that we've been talking about. I am totally devastated that I have lost contact. That for the first time in history, I'm not able to keep in contact with someone that I had a memorable moment with. And that has never ever happened before. And based on what you told me earlier today, I don't think it's over. Maybe it's possible that I could, what is the word? I could rekindle that, or what do you call it? Salvage
Yeah,
that.
rekindle.
I
Yeah,
could
salvage,
salvage.
sorry.
Yeah, because whenever I join people's events, I do class reunions, and I never let people go. I hold on to them for dear life. Now you're going to make me cry because now I see a
No.
connection with, I guess that disconnect from my family whenever I do get to be a part of people. Even my friend that on that trip, I still keep in touch with them because I don't even want to lose that connection as bad as it is because I understand the value of friendship and family and connection. I view them as my family now. And I don't know what to do about my own family, but when I connect with other people, I don't let them go. I don't like separation. I have separation anxiety, and if I latch on to somebody, they have to shake me off hard because I,
Okay.
I I don't let go that easy. And just look at me. Look at where we met. We met about a month or so ago, and then look at that. We talking and we hanging out. We just going out. I don't want to let you go because I just don't. I
Well,
don't want to lose.
please
People.
don't.
Yeah, we're building something here, and thank you again. So I guess we can start deboarding the plane now. We did good. You want
Okay.
to talk again another time? If you think of something, you can call me back, and we don't have to be on record. I think I got what I needed from this, and I think
Okay.
anybody that has not, had the opportunity to read the entire, manuscript will be able to get something from what you were able to share. So I am thanking you so much for giving me
Okay.
this time.
You're welcome, darling. Anytime.
All right, so we good?
Yes, sir.
I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. And if you need me, I'll call you.
Absolutely. Same.
Okay. Have a good night. We'll
Okay.
talk
You
soon.
too. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. I didn't know how that would end up, but we did maintain the time we said we would maintain. And that's just how I'm going to leave it. I don't know what you got out of that. I guess when I look back and listen back, I'll see what I get out of it. This is kind of becoming fun. It's striking up quite a few things that I didn't think of. And if you have questions about me, just in general, it's okay. Now that it's finished, people say, I guess it's a cliche to say, my life is an open book. Now it's literally, my life is an open book. It's a manuscript. It's a published, memoir. So if anyone has questions, I don't feel good about everything. Some of it is still kind of touchy, but I don't mind talking about it if you have questions or if you want to, be in my business like that. But with that being said, I guess I'm going to go on because I's tired, boss. But thank you in advance if you have not read it. And if you would like to ask me any questions, have thoughts or views or comments, I welcome them. You can get the book at Amazon.com, my website, eventually TravisBridges.com, and Barnes & Noble for now. And wherever I may go to minister/speak, I thought if I get invited, I could add it to my resume, to talk and all those stories and examples and all the visions that I'm getting now. I tell you, almost everything that I see now, every experience I have, it's a lesson in it for me, to not be so critical or judgmental of what it is I see. Like I talked about the lady this morning and the couple on the bus, just everything that I experience now is just becoming a lesson that I can learn from. Anyway, I'm going to dip. Thank you again for your time. And find someone you need to say, I love you too. Don't just say it, but mean it, let it be true. And as I said the last time, someone suggested that they may not believe that I love them. And that kind of hurt me a little bit. So I'll say this, I'll add this to my closing. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Say it. Don't just say it, show it, mean it, let it be true. Even if they don't believe it, because sometimes people don't believe stuff because of what they're dealing with. But if you love someone and you love or care about them enough to actually say it, and they don't have room enough to receive it, that ain't your problem. Okay? So, anyway, have a good rest of the day, evening, night, morning, whatever you're experiencing right now. I'm out. Ciao.